Anyways, Dylan, you want to talk about our next movie, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom?
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Oh boy. So yeah, basically what we come up with here is you've got Claire, and she's running like the Save the Dinosaurs kind of thing. She's got this organization. She's trying to make people feel bad, guilt tripping them and such. Basically, she meets up with this guy, and he's like, "Hey, I know you have access to the park and all of its tracking systems. I need you to do that because we can save all these dinos." She's like, "Sure." And he's like, "We need this one because this one's special and it's blue." And he's like, "Do you have a way to track her? Because it's really difficult." Or like, "You got a guy?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got a guy." Basically meet up with Owen, and then he's like, "This is a terrible idea. Just leave him be. It's better off this way." And she's like, "You're terrible. You raised her." Then they end up flying to the island. And then things start to get a little weird. They're capturing the dinos, and they're like, "Oh, you guys act quick." And then the military dudes start acting really weird. Basically, Claire and the kid get locked in the thing. They shoot Blue, and they shoot Owen with like a tranquilizer dart. And then they hold the one chick hostage, and they start carrying away all the dinos. Comes to find out that the guy that sent him to save the dinosaurs is like, "Yeah, we're gonna have these dinos for auction. Don't you worry." And we even have this bonus one that's genetically modified off of the original dinosaur we made in the first one. And then they start auctioning off. The heroes escape from their imprisonments and all that. And then, through this one military guy being super stupid for some reason, because he has this like boner for collecting teeth, opens the cage because he shoots this dinosaur with 2 tranquilizer darts. Attempts to pull a tooth out. The dinosaur is very clearly not knocked out. Eats him. Escapes. It just utterly wreaks havoc on the protagonists. Long story short, Blue ends up fighting this thing with the help of Owen and Claire, and it gets impaled on a Triceratops skeleton. And then all the dinosaurs escape because they're like, "Do we let them live or do we let them die?" And the kid's like, "They're just like me," and lets them escape. The end.
Alright, so guys, contrary to what you might think, I actually really liked this film. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the dinosaurs. I'm a big fan of dinosaurs. The CG for the dinosaurs is really good. It had great graphics.
I hate this.
I really like Chris Pratt. He's a funny guy. I like that he's in the movie. I enjoyed him a lot. And at the end of the day, I like it when the dinosaurs eat people. I thought the dinosaurs did a good job of eating all the people.
Can we get your actual opinion on this movie?
This movie sucks ass! Fuck this movie!
The writing is so fucking bad, it's actually insane. Like, every tiny little piece of this movie, the writing just makes no fucking sense. This is the movie I've thought about the most, and I don't know why. I just couldn't get it out of my brain. Every time I thought about anything about this movie, I'm like, just baffled at the decisions they made. I've never taken notes on a movie before. I have such a big list of notes for this fucking movie. I'm not going to go through all of them because that'd be ridiculous. I don't think I'm really even going to go through many of them unless they come up with what we're talking about at the time. But yeah, this movie's writing is fucking horrible.
I thought the opening scene was good, and that felt very Jurassic Park.
The opening scene felt fucking pointless. Why did that scene happen?
So they could get the Indominus Rex DNA.
Fair, I guess. That's fair. However, I will say...
guy, man.
Yeah, I will say, though, they have that big old fucking gate for the big monster thing.
The mosasaur.
Okay, yeah, that piece of shit. In the first movie, its enclosure was, dead in the middle of the park. Why is it fucking, right on the side of the island now, where they can easily access it from the ocean?
It jumped the gate.
I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure in the first one it is a wall around.
No, it was right in the middle of the park.
I'll have to look. I'll have to look at that again.
So yeah, that's a little nitpicky thing, I know, but it's fucking stupid. I didn't like that scene at all. Also, how did it not fucking just bring the entire helicopter down when it bit that guy?
Because the I don't know, the ladder was worn down.
I don't know. Medium copium. Dude, the guy had a fucking headset on, and
that's what I was gonna say.
And they're like, why aren't they telling him through the headset there's a fucking T-Rex behind his ass? Also, what the fuck's up with the way this gate mechanism works? Why the fuck does he have to hold the button down to keep it from... why is it not you click the fucking button and it just opens up the gate? Why does it open up halfway? This gate makes no fucking sense.
The pad was a conduit to make the connection for the gate to work.
What?
Yeah. They were only opening and closing the gate based on the connection through the pad. because he had to
Why
hack
would
into the
it
system.
work that way? Why not just make it so you click a button and it opens the fucking gate?
Because that pad was not part of the design of like the part.
If they have a way of a hardware device to open the gate, why would they need the function to be able to, like, if it's connected, it opens the gate? Why not just make it so you click a button and it just opens the fucking gate?
It was.
Okay, so I will say this movie has significantly more problems outside of just the opening scene, so we can kind of get to those here.
I find it very funny how in this movie our main characters are clearly in the wrong. We should not save the dinos. We should not be going to this mansion to save the dinos. We need to let the dinos die. The dinos should... Ian Malcolm is 100% correct in that, hey, we fucked up by making the dinos. Here's a chance to unfuck the thing.
No, Tanner, you don't understand. The old guy from the very first movie, he always respected the dinosaurs, Tanner. That's what they told us. He always respected dinosaurs and dinosaur life, okay?
That's what he's known for.
Yeah.
That was his big thing.
What's stupid about the whole motivation behind this entire movie, though, is that none of this would have happened if they just killed off the fucking dinosaurs, right? None of this plot would have happened. Except, right, at the very end, they basically have the same moral quandary as the start of the movie, where they can save the dinosaurs or not. And they choose not to, making it moot, right? Until, the fucking clone girl decides to open it up and unleash all these dinosaurs onto the general population, which is fucking horrible. She's killed probably hundreds of people with this decision.
They're just like her, though, Jackson. You don't understand. They're just like her.
Yeah, no, she's a clone, and that is, like, literally the only reason they use the clone thing. Oh, yeah, she's a clone, and she's just like the dinosaurs. Fuck you, movie. So stupid.
By the way... Why did that guy tell them that she's a clone? He
Yeah,
had
they don't
zero
give a
reason
shit.
to do that in that moment. He's like, okay, she's a clone, by the way.
They, like, just met this chick, too. They know fucking nothing about her. Why does he think they give a shit?
Right.
Also, the villains in this movie suck ass. They're just, like, cartoonishly evil guys, just, like, so fucking generic. Just like, I'm a businessman and I love money. And I like taking teeth from dinosaurs. That's my thing. I'm just a military guy.
I love casual animal cruelty.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's talk about the betrayal scene for a second, because this scene really fucking baffled me when I was watching it. I was in complete shock about what was happening. Like, so it basically goes the way of, we've got Chris Pratt, who is trying to coax Blue into, like, coming with him, and then suddenly they get shot, right, by a trank, or they shoot Blue with a trank. That immediately aggravates Blue. They're getting surrounded. Blue and then, understandably, goes on the aggressive and tries to get out of the situation by attacking one of these people. He shoots the fucking dinosaur. Completely reasonable. Why are they prioritizing the life of this fucking dinosaur over the life of a person?
Because it's worth millions.
I think it's reasonable to assume, right, that they would want to defend themselves with any means necessary. And then all this confrontation starts because of that. I didn't even know it was a betrayal, because it's so fucking stupid. I didn't know what was happening until it, fully happened. Then they shoot him with they shoot Chris Pratt with a trank dart. He falls to the ground. Immediately, the fucking doctor chick, who doesn't fucking care about this guy at all because they just met 10 minutes ago on the plane ride, is defending him by pointing a fucking gun at the military guy when she's surrounded by other guys with guns pointing at her. Why does she care this fucking much? And then they just take her. It's so fucking stupid.
Also, on top of that, Jackson, she pulls a gun at him, doesn't do anything. She just points the gun at them. And then they all point their guns at her, and she's like, okay, hang on, guys, put your guns down for a second.
Let's not get crazy with this, guys. And then it's funny, too, because fucking Chris Pratt, wakes up. I'm not even gonna fucking go into that part. The big thing, though, is that how do they even know that they're being betrayed? When they, come to at the edge of the island, right there on the water, they see all the dinosaurs being taken away by the, on boat and helicopter. That was, the original intent of the mission, is to get these dinosaurs off the land. So why do they even think they're being betrayed? It looks, from their perspective, it should just be what they're here to do. The fucking military taking the dinosaurs and getting them off the fucking island. Why do they care? Why do they think they're being betrayed?
Because they're showing no concern for their safety.
What? Do you mean?
How do they know that?
What are you talking about?
Well, because they tranquilized Chris Pratt and left him there, and then also
because he was trying to violently assault their fucking commanding officer. I think it's totally reasonable to put a guy down that's trying to inflict fucking
but they could have taken him
on
with them. And then also they locked Claire and the kid in the room without saying anything.
By the way, since they didn't take him him with them, it was very obvious that their intention was to have him die. Why didn't they just shoot him?
Yeah.
Because they thought the lava would take care of him. I don't know.
It should have. That's another big point. That fucking volcanic ash is insanely hot. The second it touched him, it should have turned him into fucking glass, basically. That shit is like thousands of degrees. It would have vaporized the second it touched him.
It's not thousands of degrees, but go on.
It's like 1,000 degrees, my bad. It's really fucking hot.
Hot.
You can fact check that yourself, too. I looked up a lot of sources on this. That shit would have immediately fucking vaporized him, basically, the second it touched him.
Also, like, all that dry-ass leaves around him would have absolutely caught fire.
He would have been fucking engulfed in flame far before he woke up.
The ground could have been wet, and the leaves could have been soggy on the underside.
Why are you making excuses? Shut up.
You know why he's making excuses. He loves this movie. He's been so sad sitting there this entire time.
I like how we had all these dinosaurs we never have seen before just show up in this movie.
What do you mean? There's only, like, one.
We've never seen Carnotauruses before. We've never seen an Allosaurus before.
Carnotaurus was in the first movie.
The what? No,
yes.
It wasn't.
Or no, sorry, the third movie. It was the third movie. My bad.
No, I mean, like, in Jurassic World, we've never seen any of those things.
So, Carnotaurus was still in the third movie. I don't...
Okay, fine. How about the Allosaurus, then?
No, we've never seen an Allosaurus.
Dumbass.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Allosaurus was also... No, that was a Spinosaurus. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, one piece of praise I do have for the movie, I like that scene where the ball goes into the ocean. I thought that was shot pretty well. I thought it looked really nice.
Does it make sense he could shoot through the ball?
No. Well, he didn't shoot through the ball. Well, okay, yeah, the bullet went through it, but it didn't do anything.
Logically speaking, no, because it was supposed to withstand a 50 caliber bullet and yada yada from the first movie.
Can you shoot a gun underwater?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
The velocity of the bullet
guns.
is severely reduced, but that doesn't matter if you have the barrel of the gun right against the...
Yeah, I just didn't know how it worked if you had water going down the barrel and stopping the actual, like, ignition.
Well, I don't know how that works on...
It depends on the casing and the gun and this, that, and the other.
I think with the newer guns, it doesn't matter as much.
Regardless, it doesn't really matter that much. That's not a point I care that much about.
Yeah, the gun didn't ultimately do anything anyway, so...
Yeah.
By the way, our new characters, how'd you guys feel about them? Our two new diversity hires here.
The guy is insufferable, and he really doesn't do a whole lot throughout this movie.
He hacks systems and stuff.
Yeah, they were trying really hard to make the fucking Asian chick be like some badass chick, but she was just really fucking annoying, and I did not like her at all.
She was the worst. I fucking despise that woman. At the same time, I really want to fuck her, though. She's so hot. I'm so into her.
Yeah, I have no strong... I mean, yeah, they're, like, boring and dumb, and we didn't... Which is why they disappear for the last half of the movie. So.
Yeah, no, they realize they're bad characters. Like, the fucking guy, he gets, like, recruited as, like, some random ship hand or something because he has to, fit into that scenario. And then the next time we see him, he's, like, helping out with the medical staff or something. How did this happen? What was the chain of events that led him from being some random ship hand?
Was there really no in-between from him, like, having to walk off from the ship and then showing up in the lab?
That was, in fact, the only
There's no explanation between those two scenes?
No.
I think the joke is that he's just getting folded into these random tasks because that's the trope.
Yeah, I know the intention of it's supposed to be funny, but it's just fucking stupid.
No one questioned his credentials at any point. That's
funny.
Funny.
He's just some random fucking guy.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of, like, halfway through the movie, this movie just fucking changes entirely. Like, it's fucking nuts, okay?
Who did you cut off?
The entire movie, it just changes. It's like they just have two separate movies in this thing.
Yeah, it goes from, like, basically, like, an action disaster flick to trying to be, I guess, a horror movie.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about last week. We were like, do we have 3 horror movies this week? This is what I was talking about. It's trying to be a horror movie, kind of. It's kind of trying to be a horror movie. It in no way actually commits to it in any meaningful way. There's like a couple of like creepy moments in it, like the bio dinosaur, whatever the fuck, sneaking into the girl's room and like doing the weird finger thing. Which, by the way, why the fuck did it do that? Why didn't it just immediately maul her? But like outside of that, it doesn't try hard enough to be anything. It's like those moments are purely for them to just like throw in the trailer or something.
Mm-hmm.
Should we talk about the actual dinosaur now? The Indoraptor, the main driving force of this movie.
It's so fucking stupid.
I thought it was kind of neat. I think it's kind of scary.
What does this thing have? What does this thing have over the previous massive dinosaur that could fucking camouflage itself, was bulletproof? The business.
It's smaller.
It's more genetically designed to respond to military tactics.
But why? What's the purpose of that whatsoever?
So they could use it for military purposes.
Yeah, them leaning into that is the dumbest fucking decision they could have ever
so fucking
possibly
stupid.
made.
Like, what they do in this movie is the way that they're going to be using it is they have, like, this gun-like object that they show a laser with, and then they fire off, like, a sound wave so that the dinosaur knows what to attack. But if you have, like, a laser on something that you're trying to make it attack with a gun-like object, why not just make an actual gun and shoot whatever it is you're pointing at?
Because you could be efficient and have a gun and that laser pointer.
What?
What?
If you're already pointing the laser on somebody, why not just take the fucking shot?
I don't know.
If you have to aim the laser at them anyways, it's just like adding an extra step. Especially if the thing can just be fucking shot.
I believe the idea is that a future version of the Raptor you would not need to, like, laser mark or anything.
Did they explain that?
Like, I don't know, you could, like, show it a picture,
yes, they said it was a
give
prototype.
it the scent of something.
I mean, yeah, they say it's a prototype, but they don't explain any of its, like, future capabilities. We just know what it is now, and the prototype makes no fucking sense.
Well, yeah, the whole scene got rushed when they introduced it. They didn't have time to talk about its future.
What do you mean, Dylan? They rushed the scene because that's just what they decided to do with the fucking film. They could have actually expanded upon that if they wanted to. But they just didn't feel the need to, apparently.
Yeah, they weren't forced to not explain it.
Well, it's not like this dinosaur was going to be around long enough for it to matter anyway.
They do kill it off surprisingly quickly. Like, it really is not that much of a threat at the end of the day. It just falls through some fucking glass and impales itself, basically.
I thought it was cool how it would run on 2 legs and also sometimes 4.
Yeah. I think the CGI in this movie is really good.
It was.
There
really
we go.
good.
That's a praise, Bob boy. That's a praise. I think it was a well animated movie.
Did you guys like it how the raptor like smiled at us? It like looked right in the camera and gave us a little smile right before it killed that guy.
And then later on in the movie,
funny.
it asked us a moral quandary while looking at the camera as well.
Yeah. It was like, so why do you guys enjoy horror movies about dinosaurs?
Are you guys rooting for me, or do you guys think that the protagonists are going to win?
Do you think Chris Pratt's going to be able to pull one over on me? I don't know. I bet you guys are betting on him, but I'm betting on this guy.
You guys are immediately going into the next. You guys are immediately going into the next movie. Are we done talking about those?
Dylan, you seem like really sad right now. How did you feel about this movie?
I'm not even gonna try.
You're not gonna try. What do you mean?
No, let's hear it. What do you like about this movie, Dylan?
No, I don't want to. I don't know because that you guys. No, I don't want to bother.
Tell you what, Dylan, we'll give you 90 seconds uninterrupted. We will not comment on anything you say during these 90 seconds.
It's not
what
the
do you
90
like
seconds
about the
of
movie?
interrupted. It's not the 90 seconds of interrupted review. It's the next 5 minutes after that.
No, I'm saying anything you say during these 90 seconds will be free of criticism. We will not say anything about it.
Just to be complete, I'm disheartened about this at this point. I stopped thinking about reasons as to why this movie was good because I didn't feel like arguing with you guys. So
I'm saying we will offer no arguments. There will be no criticisms. We just air your thoughts here.
Before he does that, can I say one more thing? Just that this isn't covered by whatever he says.
Of course.
So they're constantly putting Blue, the Velociraptor, as like the big savior in these movies. He's like helped out with the end of the first one, and then obviously in this one he's a big part in why, they beat the fucking Indoraptor in the end. Why the fuck does this thing care so much about these people? Like, it's just some random fucking thing. Honestly, they're trying to really fucking shoehorn in that, he totally loves Chris Pratt, even though in the first movie he's just like some fucking dinosaur that they trained. It was not that serious, and now they're like trying to make him like far closer than he is.
They'll expound upon that even more in the next movie, Jackson. Just you wait.
That's funny. But yeah, no, he's like constantly getting betrayed. He got fucking shot by people surrounding Chris Pratt. It's a dinosaur. It doesn't know how to fucking conceptualize any of this shit.
What are you talking about? The raptors are the most intelligent species on the planet. They're known to be smarter than humans.
So if you have somebody that's trying to coax you into doing something right, and then people that are with him suddenly shoot you with a fucking tranquilizer and then shoot you as you try to escape, are you going to think that they're on your side, or do you think they're going to be on their side?
I think that it can realize that he's there to help and they're not. I think that level of thinking is in place.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that myself. I think that it being super fucking into the idea of helping them after all of this shit, just like, it's still fucking like wild animal at the end of the day, doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. And I'm not a huge fan of them, like, making this guy the fucking big savior for all of these movies. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the third movie. Now that Nico said that.
They arguably quadruple down on this.
Okay.
It's basically a human that can, like, bite things real good.
Alright.
Anyway.
Alright, so Dylan, now for your praise, now for your thoughts on the movie. Your unfiltered thoughts,
This recording's already gone on long enough. Let's just move
No,
on to the next
don't worry
movie.
about that.
Your thoughts need to be heard. The people need to know.
Dylan, you love these movies. We've just been trashing out this whole time. People need to hear why folks enjoy Jurassic World and like why these movies are so like massively successful, okay? Like this movie did gangbusters at the box office, Dylan, and people need to understand why. And so that's your perspective here, Dylan. What exactly is it about Jurassic World 2 that you love so much?
Well, I mean, just it explores the other half of the story because we obviously had John Hammond from Jurassic Park. But we only knew that half. We knew that he loved dinosaurs. He liked, he wanted to give people something to experience. And then you have this guy. I think his name was Lockwood. I forget his first name. The other old gentleman that we encounter in this movie. And we're like, oh, I didn't know there was a second guy who was involved with this. Like, what's his deal? And then we find out that like the divisive thing happened when like his daughter died of like some genetic illness. And like he like made a genetic clone of his daughter, and it was successful. And for some reason that divided them, and we don't know why. And so we want to figure that out. But it's also just like, oh, these dinosaurs still exist. People still care. Oh, they're gathering the Indominus Rex DNA. Why are they doing that? Oh, they're gonna make another one. And then it's just like going on, and they're kind of just repeating this. I thought it was funny because this movie is a lot like Jurassic Park: The Lost World. So they're kind of mirroring that movie in its own sense, especially with the fact that they end up releasing the dinosaurs to the public at the end. So reality, the next movie is just a giant version of the last half of Jurassic Park: Lost World. And I just thought the design of the Indoraptor was like very unique in its own way, and I like how they're trying to show progression with the last like big bad from the last movie.
And that's 90 seconds, Dylan. That's 90 seconds right there.
Crazy.
Alright, and so with that, boys, are you ready to go on to our rankings?
Yes.
No.
Alrighty, so Dylan, why don't you start us off here? What did you think of Jurassic World 2? S-, you say? A second S-?
I'm not going to give any more justification. I'm just here to give ratings at this point.
Jesus. So Tanner, what'd you think of Jurassic World 2?
You know, honestly, we've talked me down quite a bit.
What'd you start at?
I started at B-, but
That's far too high.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I'll go C-.
Yeah. Jackson, how about you, my man?
You go first, man. I want to end on a high note, as they say.
No, you're not. You're going to give this movie an F.
Alright, so I'm gonna be honest, guys. This fucking movie, and really just like this entire experience, is just like constantly tanking my entire perception of the Jurassic Park franchise as a whole the further we go. And it's just like, it's got me so fucking down on dinosaurs at this point that I just cannot possibly foresee how I will ever gain any sort of respect for this franchise again. And at this point, it's causing me to just want to lower all of my ratings for all of these films when we eventually get back around to it. So, while I do think that the second Jurassic Park movie is worse than this one, I am going to be putting this ranking lower than that. I'm going to be throwing this at a D+, I think. A D+. Like I said, there's still some good shots in this movie, at least, you know? They got that going for them.
Mm-hmm.
The acting is serviceable.
Yeah.
So, Jackson, how about you, my man?
Yeah, I'm giving this one a D minus. I don't think it's an F tier movie. I think this movie definitely has some stuff that's going for it, but the writing is so impossibly bad and confounding. It really just leaves me baffled how this got anywhere near this level. Like they have like a whole professional team of people working on this. I don't know how the fuck all this shit had through. It's like every minor like little bit of this movie has something wrong with it. It's pretty fascinating.
Now I kind of wish we got to see, because this director, Colin Trevorrow or whatever, he was going to be the one to do episode 9 of Star Wars. This movie makes me wish I got to see what that would have been.
Oh, that would have been real fun. So what's our final rating then for the film, Jackson?
It is sitting at a C.
Pretty respectable rating overall.
Yeah.
Nika, you said D, right?
D plus, I think is what I said.
D plus?
Yeah.
It's still a C regardless.
Cool.
Okay.